Clerk's seal. The first lists the estate of Marcus Treadwell Gaines, plantation owner, cotton factor, vestryman at Christchurch, as solvent with assets including 47 enslaved persons, valued at $31,400. The second entry, dated March 9th, records the sale of those same 47 people at public auction for $8,200. No fire, no flood, no wartime destruction, just a 74% loss in value over 72 hours. The ledger offers no explanation, neither does the Savannah Republican, which ran Gaines's obituary on March 4th, praising his Christian stewardship and devotion to the cultivation of both land and virtue. What it doesn't mention is why every buyer at that auction, planters who'd known Gaines for decades, men who'd sat beside him at vestry meetings and cotton exchanges, refused to pay market rate for human beings they'd appraised themselves just weeks earlier. The answer isn't in the probate file. It's in a letter currently held in the Georgia Historical Society archives, written by a physician named Dr. Clement Ravenel to his brother in Charleston. The letter is dated March 11, 1852. It contains one sentence that municipal authorities attempted, unsuccessfully, to have stricken from all copies. I have attended many deaths in my career, but never one where the deceased's own kitchen woman was found stirring a pot containing what the coroner's assistant identified, after very little investigation, as portions of the deceased's person. That kitchen woman's name was Louisa. She was 31 years old, and by the time you understand what she did, you'll have to decide whether the greater horror lies in her actions or in what made them necessary. Before we go further into the darkness of what happened in that Savannah kitchen, I need you to do something. If you're from Georgia, or if your family has roots in the Low Country, leave your state in the comments. Not because this story is easy to hear, it isn't, but because these records exist, these people existed, and silence has never served the truth. Subscribe if you want the full investigations. We're just getting started. Marcus Treadwell Gaines purchased Louisa in 1837 when she was 16 years old. The bill of sale survives, $620 paid to an estate liquidator in Augusta after a yellow fever outbreak. The notation describes her as healthy, sound teeth, some kitchen training, no issue. That last phrase is important, no children. For a girl of 16 in 1837, that was unusual enough to affect her price, usually downward since it suggested potential fertility problems. But Gaines paid above the average rate for a domestic of her age and experience. The reason becomes clearer in his household accounts. Unlike most planters, who kept rudimentary records of their enslaved workers, names, ages, work assignments, Gaines maintained meticulous files. For Louisa specifically, he recorded not just her kitchen duties, but her disposition toward instruction, her quickness of comprehension, and, in a phrase that appears repeatedly, her uncommon cleanliness of person and habit. He installed her in the main house kitchen immediately. The Gaines property sat on the eastern edge of Savannah, where colonial money had built estates with gardens running down to the marsh. The kitchen was a separate structure, as was common, connected to the main house by a covered walkway. Brick construction, slate roof, iron stove imported from Philadelphia. Gaines took pride in modern improvements. Within 2 years, Louisa was running that kitchen in